Do we have a bumper video? Maybe?
I can think of this one time at school.
I have a secret.
I have a secret. All my life.
I've had questions about my faith, about God, and about religion.
But now,
I'm going to tell you my questions, my struggles, my doubts. The truth.
All right. Hello. There we are. What's up, tribe? How's it going? My name is Spivey, for any of you who don't know me. It's great to be here with y'all tonight. I missed y'all last week. I was out of town, but I saw that a bunch of y'all had a ton of fun at Nerf Wars. So I'm glad that y'all got to have fun, even if I wasn't here for it. But y'all get to hear more about that later if you missed it. But tonight, we're going to jump in. We're in this series called DarkRoom Faith. And if you were here last week, we talked about science and questions that maybe y'all have, a lot of us have, people have, whether they're Christians and they know about, faith in God or not, but people have questions. And so tonight we're talking about religion, like it says right up there. And so maybe you hear that word religion, and maybe you're like me and you were raised in a church that was really different than this one. I was raised in a church that was part of a big, what's called a denomination, like a big institution, organization made up of hundreds of thousands of churches around the country, around the world, similar to like maybe the Catholic Church, or if you've heard of things like that, you might think of people like chanting weird hymns or like burning incense in these big cathedrals, weird Byzantine temples. Those are just a few of the words that maybe you associate with that word religion. Or maybe you hear religion and you think rules. Or you think about someone one time who judged you or shamed you or even yelled at you and was super, rude and a jerk to you because of, they didn't agree with the way you were living. They didn't agree with maybe what you believed in. They said, oh, you've got it all wrong. You don't know what life's about. The way I believe is right. And so whatever you think of when you think of religion, that's a question we're going to dive into tonight and hopefully find the answer to, why do we believe what we believe? What is the point of believing in something? And if we truly believe in what the Bible says, then how does that shape the way we live? How does that define the way we should interact with others? And what does that mean we need to be striving for? What should our goals be in life? So I want you all to check out this video, and I'll be back up in a few minutes.
I can think of this one time at school. We were together with a group of friends, and there was this one girl. She doesn't share the same views as me. And she tells me,
I really don't like Christians.
I'm not really offended by that. I understand her point of view. Just like me, she probably sees things I don't agree with in the media, and she probably hates that. I get it. So I'm not really upset at her for that, but she'll ask me certain questions.
Why is Christianity the only way? Don't all religions lead to God? Faith is just a personal thing.
Sometimes she'll show me things on Facebook, and I can't stand Facebook either. One time she showed me a video of a white person saying they found a group of kids that were apparently Muslim, and the guy in the video was yelling at them.
Yeah, I don't know what it is you kids believe, but if it ain't Jesus, it ain't right. And you got to get right with Jesus. Turn that thing off, I said.
And my friend was like,
Lucia, is this what Christians are like?
I have a secret. All my life, I've had questions about my faith, about God, and about religion. But now, I'm going to tell you my secrets, my struggles, my doubts. I hope you can handle the truth. And my friend was like,
Lucia, is this what Christians are like? Why are they doing this?
oh, well, this is what they believe in. I didn't know what to say, because it really just frustrates me as well. And I didn't have an answer for her. But also, they're doing it in the name of, God. I think that's one of the biggest moments that made me feel just cornered. It made me feel like all Christians don't show love or kindness, and I'm not that type of Christian, so I feel like I have to defend a definition of Christianity I don't even believe in. It's really just confusing.
An introduction to Christianity. People sometimes think of Christianity as a white Western religion, but it isn't. It started with a brown-skinned Middle Eastern Jew and was multiracial, multinational, and multicultural from the very beginning. Jesus' disciples preached to people from places including modern-day Iran, Iraq, Turkey, and Egypt and Libya in Africa. Over 3,000 people from one crowd became followers of Jesus. So Christianity was immediately inclusive to all kinds of people.
I tried to research a couple of religions because of a paper I had to write for my history class, and a lot of them had a lot of similarities. Some of them had moral teachers saying something like,
"Don't hurt other people and be kind to others."
I often wonder, are we all worshiping the same God? Because my Hindu, Muslim, and Jewish friends, they're all such great people. They're just really good people. So I often wonder, how can I be so judgmental by calling someone else's life experience wrong?
What's up, guys? Today we're gonna be walking around asking people what they believe about Jesus' death. And if they answer, I'll do it back to them. What do you believe about Jesus' death?
He was one of many great teachers, but he's dead.
Jesus didn't die. He just appeared to die. And then he was taken up to heaven like a prophet.
It might sound crazy, but Christians believe that Jesus died and rose to life again. We call it the resurrection.
All right. As you can see, everyone believes different things about what happened to Jesus. Who knew?
What feels offensive today is the idea that there's only one way to God, and one religion to show us the way. Now, it might seem inclusive to say that all faith leads to God, but actually, it's insulting to other religions to say that they're the same.
Yeah, but do we really have to choose between religions rather than just taking the best of multiple traditions? Yes. Okay.
At the center of the Christian faith is the belief that Jesus Christ died on the cross and was physically raised from the dead as proof that he was God, right? Well, if this isn't true, then Christianity isn't true. Without the resurrection, Christianity is useless. Think about it this way. If we were to take a video camera and set it outside of his grave 2,000 years ago, we'd either see him coming out or not.
Imagine if someone came back to life today and was like, I'm Christ. Like, I'd be like, yeah, right. But yeah, either Jesus was physically raised from the dead or he wasn't. But what we can't say is that
I think all religions are right about Jesus.
well, they all believe something different about it, so it actually does a disservice to them by saying they're all the same. He is either legit God or he's not. Some people, like my friend, think of Christianity as a set of rules, things we should and shouldn't do in order to please God. Do you know what makes Jesus special? It's not about what you can do, but what Jesus has done. Anyone from anywhere can be accepted in spite of anything they might have done. Most religions say, if you work hard, you can be accepted. Culture says, if you work hard, you can be anyone. Jesus says, I've done the work. You're mine.
Thanks. That helps.
I think lately I've been asking myself what makes Christianity different. Why do I identify as a Christian? I know I'll probably have more questions in the future, but I'm confident I know who God is. He knows me.
All right. That was good stuff. Yeah, I don't know about y'all, but that, okay, thanks. Yeah, just the idea that, we have a lot of questions and I don't have all the answers. I don't think any of us in this room have all the answers. As much as we'd like to, it'd be so easy to say, oh yeah, I know the answer to that. Because the Bible tells us a lot, but at the same time, times are changing. People are always bringing up new ideas, new questions, but we do know is like she said there at the end, the idea that a lot of religions say you have to work for it. You have to be good enough. You have to, do your sacraments, excuse me, and rituals. Even a lot of Christians will say, oh, you got to get right before you come to church. Can't come into church if you're, smoking cigarettes. Can't come into church if you party the night before. But Jesus said, no, it's the opposite of that. He says, you're never going to be perfect. We can always improve. And he's able to give us strength in our weakness and able to guide us closer to his heart. But at the same time, he already paid that price so that we could be free, so that we could be who he's designed and called us to be, having freedom and a life of fullness in him and in community. And so I encourage you tonight, as we're in small groups, as we're thinking about this, thinking about why we believe what we believe, and are we trying to measure up and be good enough all the time, or are we looking for that relationship? Are we looking to be intentional in seeking our Father God, who's made us, who knows us better than we know ourselves, and who loves us and wants the best for us? And I'd encourage you not to be afraid to ask those questions, those things that are confusing, because the world tells us a lot of stuff. It tells us just a lot of noise, and it's hard to cut through that. So I'd encourage you, don't be afraid to ask those questions, whether that's tonight in small group, whether that's pulling one of us aside if you're not comfortable talking in a group, or even shooting us a message. You can DM our tribe account anytime, and we'd love to chat with you and help you work through that, because that's how we grow and learn, is in community and learning from others who've been where we are now and who've moved through that and who've had those experiences and learned. So yeah, that's my encouragement to all of y'all tonight. So this time we're going to move into our moment of giving, which is when we get to give back to God with our physical resources. And not because God needs them, not because Shoreline Church just wants to take your money and go put in another slide or something, but because we're able to multiply. When we trust God with what he's given us financially, our time even, our giftings, then he's able to do so much more with it than we can do on our own through a community and through an organization, through a place like Shoreline. And so as we're in 2024 now, I'm already looking ahead. I know maybe y'all aren't like me, but I'm already excited for summer. I'm like done with this cold. I traveled over the holidays up north and it was freezing cold, and I said, thank goodness I live in Destin, Florida, and we get to have lovely weather. And one of the things we get to do over the summer is Grub Club and Church at Crab Island. We go out, we feed people. We're able to be out there and to just have conversations, real conversations with people who are looking for something real, who are looking for truth. And because of generosity of y'all, of people in this church, people in our community, Shoreline Church is able to be a part of that and to do the things that God has called us as a church to do. So if you haven't been part of giving before, if you haven't experienced that, I'd encourage you tonight to ask God. Ask him how he's wanting you to trust him. Again, maybe that's not financially, maybe that's with your time or your talents and giftings he's given you to plug in and to help others. So we're going to pass the buckets, and while the buckets pass, if you missed Nerf Wars last week, I want you to check out some of what you missed.